Okay, it is 7 o'clock on March 11th. Okay, this is version 2 of the Shooting of Dan McGrew poem by Robert Service, set to the tune of the Jolly Miller. A bunch of the boys was whooping it up at the Maui saloon. The kid that handles the music box was hitting a jag-time tune. Back of the bar in the solo game, St. Dangerous Dan McGrew. And watching his luck was his light of love, the lady that's known as Lou. Out of the night that was 50 below, into the din and glare, there stepped a miner fresh from the creeks, dog dirty and loaded for bear. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave and scarcely the strength of a louse. But he tilted a polka dust on the bar, and he called for drinks in the house. None could place the stranger's face, though we sought in vain for a clue. But we drank his health, and the last to drink was Dangerous Dan McGrew. There's men that somehow just grip your eyes and hold them hard like a spell. And such was he, though he looked to me like a man who had lived in hell, with a face most hair and the dreary stare of a dog whose day is done. He watered the green stuff in his glass, and the drops fell one by one. And I got to figuring who he was, and I wondered what he'd do. And I turned my head, and there watching him was the lady that's known as Lou. His eyes went rubbering round the room, and he seemed in a sort of a daze, till last that old piano fell in the way of his wandering gaze. The jag-tag kid was having a drink, there was nobody there on the stool. Then a stranger stumbles on across the room, and he flops down there like a fool, in a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt. He sat and I saw him sway. Then he clutched at the keys with his talon hands. My God, what that man could play. Was he ever out in the great alone, when the moon was awful clear, and the icy mountains hemmed you in, with a silence you most could hear, only the howl of a timber wolf, and you camped there in the cold, a half-dead thing in a stark mad world, clean mad for the muck called gold. While high overhead, green, yellow, and red, the north lights swept and barred. Then you've a hunch what the music meant, hunger and the stars, and hunger not of the belly kind that's banished with bacon and beans, but the gnawing hunger of lonely men, for a home that all that means, for a fireside far from the cares that are, for walls and a roof above, but oh so crammed full of cozy joy, and crowned with a woman's love. A woman dearer than all the world, and true as heaven is true. How ghastly she looks through all her rouge, the lady that's known as Lou. The music almost died away, then burst with a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes were blind with blood. The thought came back of an ancient wrong, and it stung like a frozen lash, and the lust awoke to kill, and the music stopped with a crash. Then the stranger turned and his eyes they burned in a most peculiar way, in a buckskin shirt that was glazed with dirt. He sat and I saw him sway. His lips went in a kind of a grin. He spoke and his voice was calm. Boys, says he, you don't know me, and none of you give a damn. But I want to state my words are straight, and I bet my poke it's true, that one of you is a hound of hell, and that be Dan McGrew. Then on a sudden the music changed, so soft you scarce could hear, and you felt that your life had been looted clean of all that once held dear, that someone had stolen the woman you loved, and her love was a devil's lie, and your guts were gone, and the best for you was to crawl away and die. 'Twas the crowning cry of heart's despair, and it chilled you through and through. Well, I guess I'll make it a spread misery, said dangerous Dan McGrew. The music almost died away, then it burst with a pent-up flood, and it seemed to say, repay, repay, and my eyes were blind with blood. The thought came back of an ancient wrong, and stung like a frozen lash, and the lust awoke to kill, and the music stopped with a crash. And I ducked my head and the lights went out, and two guns blazed in the dark, and a woman screamed and the lights went up, and two men lay stiff and stark. First on his head and pumped full of lead was dangerous Dan McGrew, while the man from the creeks lay clutched to the breast of the lady that's known as Lou. These are the simple facts of the case, and I guess I ought to know. Some say the stranger was crazed with hooch. I'm not denying 'tis so. I'm not so wise, these lawyer guys, but strictly between us two, the lady that kissed him and pinched his poke was a lady that's known as Lou.